Good evening, my darlings. This is a YouTube and Patreon video for this lunar eclipse coming up on the 28th. So we're today the 24th, but I know that I'm going to be very busy this week and I only have tonight. So we've been through heavy storms all day today and I had to wait. It's very tropical. I had to wait till they calmed down so that I could do this video, and I'm working early tomorrow morning, so we're doing this tonight. I would have liked to have done it. I like to do it just before, but yeah, so we're going to do it today. We're going to talk about everything that's happened since I last came to see you on the solar eclipse. I've been doing a lot of work for Patreon as always, so I'll be taking you through that first quarter moon that was very important in between these two eclipses. We're going to be talking about the death of this actress that died when Venus entered Virgo at 36 years old, Hayden Panettiere. So yeah, I have written a lot about her, but we're going to see about the importance with the North nodes and why 36 is so important. And again, why these deaths are all about celebrating the triple goddesses. We've got the triple goddesses going on in the sky, and there's a lot of hype about Marilyn Monroe's death, Diana's death, and now Hayden, which is showing us these triple goddesses. And then we're going to add into that about Harry and Meghan, and why they are in the news at the moment. It's all tied in. Meghan Markle is born in 1981 when Princess Diana got married, when we had the first Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, which is now opening the next 250 years of the Saturn-Jupiter conjunctions in Earth signs. So this is really all about marking that energy of 36. 36 is twice 18, and 18 is the cycle of the North Node. And we are closing a cycle. We had a lunar eclipse on the 28th of August 2007, which is the exact day I arrived in Paris. So I was 37 years old. This is all about 37 L. The Vesica Pisces passage. The last time I came to you, we had that earthquake in Lourdes of 3.7 magnitude, 37L. So this death at 36 is when the woman gets into her power at 37, and we get that passage. And at the moment, we're going on to the fixed cross, through the throat, through the gorge, through the valley of death, through, am I recording? Yeah, I am recording. Okay, great. So, yeah, we're going on to the fixed cross. This is the gorge, this is the almond, this is the Vesica Pisces, this is the deep throat, and this is when Saturn takes over from Jupiter, because Jupiter has been ruling the last 500 years of the trigon Jupiter-Saturn conjunctions in water. Then fire, the last one was 1961, the year that Marilyn Monroe died, and also the year that Diana was born. So this is all what I'm going to be explaining and getting into, and also just the importance of this passage that we have just been through. You know, for many of us, everything is in cycles, everything is in 18-year cycles. So all of us, X generation, we are ending an 18-year cycle where we really stepped into our power. And that's part of why these deaths of these women and famous people at 36, well, there's also the 29-year-old, but that marks the Saturn cycle, and the 36 years old marks your second North Node return. So North Node return is the direction you're meant to go to. It's when you step into your power. And a lot of us have been tested. A lot of us have been tested because we're always leveling up. We're always ascending. And you will find that anybody that has a mission, anybody that is a carrier of the lights, anyone that is holding great truths and are able to have a direct effect on energy, they will be targeted by anybody that is unconscious and any vampires that are looking for a light force to live off. So you may have possibly been through intense attacks over these last 2 years, and this is what this closing eclipse is about. And that's why I spent a lot of time explaining this midway point that we just had between the eclipses. So today we're the 24th. Let's go back to that solar eclipse. So the solar eclipse was bang between, as you would have seen in my last video, it was right between the BJ-JB solar lunar pillars, Boaz and Jacqueline. So I was just looking at this girl, Hayden, that I've written a lot about, but because I never saw any of the work that she did. So she's born on August the 21st. So she's also dies in August, and this is what we're going to be looking at. Marilyn died in August. Diana died in August. She died in August. And of course, August and Virgo is the gap that we leave the mutable cross onto the fixed cross. That's why 9/11 was when the sun is just at the end of Leo, and 3/11 Fukushima is when the sun was at the end of Aquarius, going into Pisces, but it was still in Aquarius. The sun enters, hang on, my head. So the sun is, for this time, August, it is entering here, but the sun for 9/11 is right just at the end of Leo, between Virgo and Leo, and for 3/11, the sun is, it's just about to enter Pisces. So it entered the month before, the 16th of the 2nd, into Aquarius, and it enters into Pisces. It enters into Pisces. Was it? Yeah, right on that day. That is the mark of, so this is the Vesica Pisces. This is the L, 3/11, 9/11. And these women are dying in August. So another thing you may have noticed, so Madonna's daughter is called LeOn Lourdes. So LeOn, the lion, and Lourdes, Virgo. So LeOn Lourdes is this connection. It's the strength cards. We are, ruled by the sun and Mercury. So there will be no more fixed cross, and they want to turn to give to Mercury, to give to this girl, to give to Mercury the energy of the sun. So, I always show you. Okay, so I'll just show you again because it's always so important for you to understand. So there will be no more Leo. This is what they're doing. They're doing this closing of the cross. So they're crucifying the fixed cross, and they're going to be merging Venus and Mercury. So Libra, red on the outside, and Virgo in the middle. That's Mercury and Venus. They'll be merging Jupiter and Mars, and Mercury and the moon. So Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So Mercury in Gemini is merging with the moon, and Mercury in Virgo is merging with Venus, but there's no more Leo. So this time that they sacrifice these women is in the time of Leo. It's always when the sun is in Leo, because that is, you know, that is sacrificing the woman that tames the beast. It's, and it also, there is, you know, this, normally, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been every year, there is this sudden switch into the autumn energy earlier and earlier. So we used to have those Indian summers where we would go on and on with the summer, and autumn would, although we go into the colors, but there is always a sudden shift, which is getting earlier and earlier. So we've been having these heat waves, but that kind of the burning of the land and all the golden land this year, as in 1976, when the land should not be turned into Virgo. So Leo is turned into Virgo, a time when everything is golden, when everything has gone brown. So that has been happening earlier and earlier, making this LeOn Lourdes, making this brown energy. And then the other Mercury, this is Merlin. So we've got LeOn Lourdes and Merlin. So the sea, Cancer, and little Mercury, the sea lion, LeOn Lourdes. And that's why we had, at the same time at the other eclipse, we had Léon Marchand, the swimmer in France, winning all the swimming races. And then we had the earthquake in LeOn Lourdes, and we had Madonna's birthday. Madonna's birthday is the 16th of August. And she was in Greece, and she was photographed everywhere in Greece. So what did I always tell you? They're bringing in the Greek Orthodox, gold, Thor, Jupiter, of the ox, Venus, Jack and Rose, merging Leo, Thor, Jupiter, and ox, Venus, Taurus. There's no more Mercury and Jupiter taking this central line when it should be Saturn. The sun and the moon merge into the kingdom of Saturn, but we've got Jupiter crowning himself the lord of the government and the empire, Saturn and Jupiter. And then we've got this little Merlin, the sun, and Mercury crucifying the fixed cross. And then here we've got the Ukraine, the yellow and blue, Cetus, the whale, the Prince of Wales. He was on the front of Tatler, the blue and yellow. So that is Tintin. This is the 14th sign that they're bringing up, the Prince of Wales, Jupiter and Mars. And then we've got Venus and Mercury. Okay, so this is how they're doing it. Okay. So we're back to now, and this girl died. And died Madonna's birthday, August the 16th. Okay, so I've got her chart up here. That is the eclipse. That is, and because I've got these old eclipses up here as well. That was the lunar eclipse in 2007. See, in 2007, North Node. This is exactly the same day, 28th of August. I'm going to be looking at that. And so, right, where is this girl's chart? Hayden Panettiere. Right, so this is her chart, and she died, let us put, on the 16th of August. Show the charts with transits. Okay, that's right. We had the moon and Venus conjunct. So let's just go and see here again, the 16th. So it was just after the eclipse, and I told you it was all about LeOn Lourdes. Now we have the sun, so we had Mercury and Jupiter completely conjunct. They weren't as combust as for the eclipse. So for that eclipse, they weren't completely combust, but then, so 14, 15, 16, and we also had Mars crossing over the wand of Merlin, moving across this silver gate. So yeah, with the moon, so then the moon, 9, 10, 11, let's have a look. So the 16th, Venus was conjunct with, so Venus had actually entered Virgo on the 1st of August, and I was doing a lot of writing about how important this is, closing the 5-pointed star since 2018, the last time that Venus did a retrograde, and she did that retrograde between Libra and Virgo, but they both just touch Spika, and this time it's going to be just still in Virgo, and then she goes around Spika, the blue star. So this is rising La Marianne. This is giving to this girl this solar energy, which means giving it to Mercury, because Mercury rules Virgo. So they're giving Virgo the energy of the sun, and they're giving Gemini the energy of the moon. And this is all about the solar and the lunar pillars, where this first eclipse was. So just going back to this girl, she did Claire Bennett, so that's CB32, that's the 32 tarot cards, which I'm always telling you is Germaine. It's the area I live in. It's the 32 paths of wisdom. It's 3-2, which is 5, the 5-pointed star. Her television series Heroes, which is all the energy the same as in Jupiter ascending, he rises Rose. So he wants Rose in Virgo, Venus. Venus is in Virgo. So you always have in all these series, whether it be LeOn, the killer with his young girl, Natalie Portman, or whether it be, Batman, who's now introducing Catwoman, but especially Jupiter ascending, you get Jupiter ascending with the girl with the bees, Virgo, the bees, and she puts her arms up like that, which is the Holy Grail. It's Taurus. And in one of her interviews that they went back over, she was saying, these men, they would be waiting for their, because this is all about what's going on at Lourdes. Lourdes, they're having all these women coming to talk about their sexual abuse. So they're killing the alpha male energy. They're giving the sun to Mercury and Virgo for these strong Lara Croft girls, and they're merging Mercury with the moon. So the anima and the animus, we've just got Jack and Jill. We've got these two children. So she was saying that when the men, they would just be lying back with their arms like this. That's the whale's tail, Venus's cycle. And she died on the day that Venus was at its highest eastern elongation. That's the highest eastern elongation. It's the whale's tail. And this position is also what she does in Jupiter ascending. She's holding up the Holy Grail. It's the passage, and that is blocking it. That is the whale's tail. It's so she was called Juliet Barnes. So Juliet Barnes is JB. It is Boaz and Jacqueline, the lunar solar pillars. So led to 2 Golden Globe nominations, and that was happening between 2006 and 2010, which is this cycle. So from when she was 18, 19, 20, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 18 years. So she was very young, but she comes into her prime at the age of 36, and she's killed. So they don't want women over the age of 36. That's what they're telling you. 36 is the perfect age to be a mother. And they make these sacrifices at your second North Node return. Orangetown Middle School, Hayden Panettiere. So Hayden is Hades, Persephone going into the underworld. Pan is the baker, it's the breads, it's the basket. And what did we have in the sky? We had, as they brought out Cetus, we had this BB something basket, which when we had that planetary position in the sky, and that Frenchman AB, just like Andy Burnham, AB, it was his basket. So this is the little basket, this is the basket, this is Rockabye Baby. Guiding Lights, Lizzie Battles. So I'm sure there's just so much that you guys will all know all about. You will all know about her. So Meghan Markle, they got married. Meghan Markle married Harry, what year? 2018. There we go. So that is the cycle of Venus, the 19th of May 2018 in St George's Chapel, George the Gorge. And so of course they're coming back now to end that cycle of Venus. And Meghan Markle, you know, this is to really make the split, in those that know and those that don't know. And so here's the partial, this is the eclipse that we're coming up to now. It is all about the lion lies down with the lamb. We've got the finger of God pointing to Leo. We've got the Sun and Mercury merged. Mercury rules Virgo. They've done their sacrifice as Venus is in Virgo. So there is Venus in Virgo, and you will see that this girl, Hayden Panettiere, and you'll see the same with, so Hayden Panettiere, she is born with Venus in Virgo, with transits. Transits for the 24th of August. Okay, I just want to put the 16th, the day she died, transits. So the day she died, we have the moon and Venus, and we have Venus at its highest elongation, and she's got Venus at the top of her chart in Virgo. She has also got the famous, look at this, she's got a big T square. She is born in 1989, which was the famous Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which we've just had again in Pisces. So she marks absolutely the mutable cross of Michael Jackson, MJ. She died with Mars on her Jupiter. She died with the moon and Venus, so it was all about this T square. You know, she's born on the 21st of August and she dies on the 16th. So the sun was just at the end of on the 16th of August. On the 16th of August, the sun was in Leo. Sun was in Leo. Interesting that it looks like the sun is still in Cancer. Of course, the sun is in Leo. But that is right bang. She's born with the sun between those pillars, those JB pillars. That's why she played. So it's all about the sun and the moon, as Mercury and Jupiter are in the home of the moon. So this is all about the importance coming up. And she's got her North Node exactly, obviously, where North Node is now at the end of Aquarius. And she has South Node in Leo. So this is why it's so important. She gets killed just before her North Node return. just before her North Node return. At the age of 37, she knew she'd never drive through Paris with the sun in her hair. 37L. So this is, this is what I'm saying. It's all about the North-South nodes, and it's all about this coming lunar eclipse. We had Jupiter, Mercury in the home of the moon, and we had the sun in Leo. She's born with Mars in Leo. She's born with this big trine, a fire, grand trine. She's got moon in Aries, so she's very, very fire, but she's also got that Virgo. She looks like she's got Mercury bang in between Leo. So look at that. I mean, she's really, this is LeOn Lourdes. This is LeOn Lourdes. This is what I was saying in my last, yeah, they've lost off. I had it already opened up where we were for the last. Okay, as I'm just wheeling down looking for the information. So 6 days ago, current affairs chat for all tiers, Hayden Panettiere's death, Ishtar, first quarter moon in Scorpio, 20th of August, and Lunar, right, okay, that was all I was covering. Hayden, Hades, Den, Perseverone connection, thank you. With Venus, highest eastern, greatest eastern, elongation, conjunct waxing crescent moon in Virgo, Ishtar, whore of Babylon ritual. So don't forget that your brainstem, we should be coming back onto the Scorpio Taurus. So this is why this first quarter moon in Scorpio, opposite we had Uranus in Taurus. So her death is again to stop the beautiful curvy female brainstem. Remember your name, Rumpelstiltskin, Bess, Osiris, Orion, LeOn, merLion has taken over that brainstem. Happy Abby, Abby Pierre, apiculture, when it should be the female. So just after her death, we had that first quarter moon on the 20th, and that was this opposition of the moon in Scorpio. So just like for Liana in France, she was killed when the sun was in Taurus and the moon was in Scorpio, marking this new female axis. So a lot was covered, Hayden. So this was all the video I did for Patreon, all about her death. And I'm always going through so much that I have to read it again because I just can't keep up with everything I take in all the time. So Heroes Scream, Nashville, the American actress greatest roles, talks in an interview here. She became like a Leo lion. Yeah, so when she was out at sea and she became like a lion, she says she had to fight for her life. She couldn't escape, and she was taken to a man who was lying down with his arms like that. She was stuck on the sea. She couldn't escape. This is all about Virgo. Is the wine. It's the Amy Winehouse. It's the soul. And she has to transmute to Pisces, back to spirit, back to alcohol. So when they kill these girls in Leo, the sun, it is to make, to kill the beast, the child, the joy, the ability to have faith in yourself, because Virgo, especially Venus in Virgo, is the broken heart, and she doesn't have the courage without the lion. If you kill the girl, and this is killing another generation of girls' ability to have confidence and to have the sun and to have faith in themselves. So when you do a death of all the girls who've been following, so it's not my generation, but all the people who have been following her, just as they are all meant to be stepping into their power, all those people like her with North Node in Aquarius, they lose their power, they lose their sun, they lose their essence with these rituals. So it's to keep people stuck in the material, in Virgo, in the, in the material girl, in the little mermaid who came to Earth to enjoy the pleasures of the material life without having the courage to transmute through Pisces. This is the whole thing about 9/11, 3/11. It is the gap between Virgo, Leo, 9/11, and Pisces, Aquarius, the Vesica Pisces. And this eclipse is absolutely on Leo, Aquarius. The lion lies down with the lamb. This is where all those of us who've made it through these last tests of vampires and the dark side of these Jezebels and these Virgo girls that will do anything to take your light because they're afraid. They're stuck in the material. They fell to earth like Alice in Wonderland. So she died at 3-6-3-6-9. The line broke. The moon key gets choked. She becomes like a Leo, LeOn lion on the sea, merLion, and Lourdes Virgo, Perseverone, harvest, hay, Hades. So blue star, Spika is the harvest. It is you reap what you sow. It is the star of the separation of the tars, the wheat from the tars, and that is what's going on. And that's what this eclipse is about. You will have found in your environment people clinging on to your light, just like in Narnia, the magician's nephew, Jadis. She tries to hang on to the children, the lights, as they pass through the worlds in those rings. And that's where I live. I live between worlds. I live on the dusk-dawn axis where there is no time, and there is a lot of karmic stuff going on with people coming back, remembering that this is the passage. So there are, where I live is the extreme of love and hate, which is what the whole narcissistic thing is about, narcissists and empaths. You've got to find that middle ground, and everything is about coming back. We're coming back to the middle cross. We're coming back to the Middle Ages. Okay, so that was all that I was doing all last week. That was what Hayden was dead at third. So that was the clip on her interview, which is where she says, I had to become like a lion and I was on the sea and I couldn't jump out. Merlin, Merlin. Venus moon. So here we go to celebrate evening star, Venus, strength card, Leo, Virgo, LeOn Lourdes, Horon, a horizon. So this is before I knew, this was on the 16th of August, before I knew about her death. So I do a big thing about Venus and moon in Virgo, Lourdes sun in Leon, Leon. So I'm going on all about it. I know, I always know. And look, they show in Lourdes, there we go in Lourdes. And there's on that day, on the 16th, they're talking about the Pope coming to Lourdes to see all the women who have been sexually abused. So it was the day that the Venus was its highest, greatest eastern elongation. Venus owns the evening, and they kill this girl. It's right in your face. So last time, and there's the whale's tail, that is the eve, that is the cycle of Venus, 37, they kill her at 63 before you can get through the Vesica Pisces. And that is, oops, I don't want to get, stop sound, stop sound. So, are we recording? Yup, we're recording. So you see in the newspapers on the day she was killed, the Pope, Leon, is coming in September to Lourdes. And, this was, I didn't even know that this girl was dead yet. So, okay, don't let the music. So I was putting LeOn Lourdes. We had the Sun and Mercury just entered Leo that day. Yeah, we're going to see it. That's it. Mercury entered Leo, of course. So this is all the Betty Blue. And in France, it's called 37.2, which is twice 37, which is the Vesica Pisces 3773. So yeah, we'll just let these pictures go. So 7733 is the Vesica Pisces, and that B So that is the abbey, that is the fleur de lis, that is the whale's tail, it is the bee is the 13th cranial, and that bee is basically Inanna, it's your brainstem. The fleur de lis is the curvy woman, it's your brainstem, there she is. She's showing you the Vesica Pisces, look. The Vesica Pisces, this is the bee, this is the bee, this is the AP, this is the AB. This is why in England the Prime Minister is called AB. This is why where I live, the top of the 5-pointed star is a village called Aveyron-Bergerelles. I think maybe Prince William is here. It would be secret if he is, but I just have a feeling in my gut he could be right here at the moment. Well, they say he's in Balmoral, but so there, and of course Jupiter and Mercury were conjunct on the beehive cluster. So Cancer is the original tropics, and we've got Pluto opposite in Capricorn. Okay, we can stop that. So I was getting all excited on the 16th before I knew anything about this girl. Here we go to celebrate Evening Star, Venus, Strength card, Leo, Virgo, LeOn Lourdes, Horizon, Hormonal Liza, Macbeth line, Nile, Whore of Babylon, Leon, Venus conjunct, waxing crescent moon in Virgo. Front pages talk of Pope, Popeye, Leon, visit to Lourdes this fall equinox, obviously as Venus in Virgo to retrograde over blue star Spika. Virgo, Lourdes, Virgin Mary this fall. Today, moon in Virgo, ruler of Cancer. Eliza is the Liz, hormonal Liza, Macbeth line. So Leon Marshall, the swimmer, is LMML. So L is 12, M is 13. It's beehive cluster, Lisbon, Beeline, Appy, Abbey, Abba, Ab, Burnham, Saturn, Neptune on the whale's tail. So this girl is born with the last Saturn-Neptune conjunction with Uranus. So this is a very powerful generation of people coming in. When they kill one of your heroes, it breaks people's hearts. It's an energy. It's always to steal people's light. By killing one big light, they steal a mass of light in the process. Saturn, Neptune on whale's tail, cycle of Venus, Jupiter has no S. I mean, we don't know if these people really die, who they are really, or what's really going on. That doesn't matter. What matters is why they do these rituals on these dates. Mars on the wand of Merlin in Gemini now, and Sun in domicile in Leon. So Mercury on that 16th, he was still in Cancer. Mercury entered Leo for that first quarter. Yeah, well, that was what was so important, because Mercury on the first quarter moon was exactly where the solar eclipse was, and we had the moon in Scorpio. Always really important. Well, yeah, it wasn't on Antares, that's right, it was right on the claw of the little prince. So what is that all about? We've got the little pass. The real little pass is going to be Scorpio. So Mars was exactly on Sirius, and Mercury was exactly the little prince between Jupiter and the Sun. Mercury just in Leo, but exactly where the Sun and the Moon were for the eclipse. Mercury rules Virgo, where Venus is, and Mercury rules Gemini, where Mars is. So to take the anima and the animus, the anima and the animus is always about Mars and Sun, every feminine's hidden animus, and Venus and Moon, every man's hidden anima, which is being inverted. So they need the Sun and the Moon, and they need Mars and Venus. So Mars and Venus in the home of Mercury, as Mercury sits between the Sun and the Moon, so that they can rise Mercury for this lunar eclipse coming up, when we should come into Aquarius, where we should go through the true Vesica Pisces, onto the fixed cross, through the deep throat, through the gorge. So this is just how they manipulate it all, but we can always be true. But there are a lot of people who are unable to create their own light, and they will remain in Virgo energy, in that, without being able to transcend through Pisces to get into Aquarius. So these pictures, Merlin in Singapore, there's your 77721. And it was on the newspapers all that day. And it just made me think of Bacchus, the sea lion is just the little Mercury. Bacchus of Phuceus, it's all the same person, the god of wine, it's Dionysus. And on that same day, so they've got LeOn in the newspapers and LeOn the Pope. And the Pope, so this is exactly what's going on, because Leo opposites Aquarius, you're meant to pop eye. So the Pope and Leo is showing you these two eclipses on this North Node in Aquarius. So Madonna's birthday was that day. They're showing you PP, which is always Petit Prince. PP's 99. So from the 25th to the 28th of September, Louis the 16th is that, or the one before, is going to be, so this is the Dauphin rising, the Merlin is the Dauphin is yellow and blue. This is what I'm showing you here. They're putting the yellow and blue, the Prince of Wales, this 14th sign, which is just the crocodile. They've got a Phuceus between Sagittarius and Scorpio, the 13th sign. That's Mars and Mars Scorpio, Jupiter Sagittarius, and now Cetus between Aries and Pisces, Aries, Mars, Pisces, Jupiter. So full expansion, when the true closing should be exactly where this girl has got her North Node, between Capricorn and Aquarius, and between Capricorn and Aquarius. So that's the true twin peaks. But Lucifer's sigil is between Sagittarius and Capricorn, Pisces and Aquarius. They've opened the light, so that when the mutable cross is absolutely expanded, and then you have to face the consequences of not seeing through. That is Amit, the enormous crocodile. This is the last closure from the hippopotamus to the lion to the crocodile. That's why Blue Jeans, Lana Del Rey swims with the crocodile. Blue Jeans, it's just JB, Boaz jacking pillars. You know, are you falling for the, there will be no need of the sun and the moon in the kingdom of gods. So there is the Dauphin. He's got his, that is telling us something which I will. Okay, so that was me going on all about it. She's born, something very interesting about her, about when she's born as well. What's, here we go. There's something 1515, which is 66. Is that's her chart there. Yep, she's born at 15:15. 3:15 p.m. is 15:15 p.m., which is 6/6. It's all about the sun in between Taurus, D-Day. And she's born on the 21st of August, which is the 21 tarot card, 777. And she's born in Knick, Knack, Paddywhack, the day of the dog, named the dog of might. So I've gone into a lot about her in my Patreon. You can join for €5. I do so much work on Patreon, you know, just for the price of a coffee per month. You could really catch up with everything and get so much information. Okay, so look, you see she has got her south node exactly on Regulus, her north node exactly on Fomalhaut. I mean, it is exactly what's going on. And she is killed before she can enter that wonderful age of becoming the true mother. She has got a little capstone to Mars in Leo working with Pluto. She's the Pluto and Libra generation. So it's their, you know, they are really stepping into their time, coming into 37. She's got Chiron in Gemini. Okay, so let's move on up. Uh-oh. What am I doing? Mars was on the wand of Merlin. Lourdes, LeOn Lourdes. Got the lion and the dolphin. Le Dauphin. Okay, it looks like the storm is coming back again. This is Mark. It's Tristan, but he's with his lion. The Prince and the Revolution, the Black Prince. So LeOn Worth. This is 33 days. So the Vesica pieces is 3773. That's 3377. He's got 56. That's barium. 11. Le Roi Merlin. Okay. Oh no, it's taken me all the way back up again. Okay, I was taken all the way up again. So this image came up, 36 years old, all died in August, and they give you Marilyn, Diana, and this Hayden. So August the 4th, 5th, 1962, August the 31st, and August the 16th. So we're not going to get into all that now. I've gone into depth. Grace Kelly's death was for the first 1981, the first Saturn Jupiter conjunction in Virgo. Then in 1997, Diana, it was just before and then at that time, Amy Winehouse died for the last, that's Amy Winehouse death year. It was exactly when I went to Paris in 2007. She died in 2011. Okay, I just remembered I was in Paris. So she died in 2011. What happened to Amy Winehouse in 2008? Okay, so she was just really suffering, and then she will have died. Okay, so she was just really suffering in that time, and she died in 2011. Okay, up. What am I doing? Where am I? What am I looking at? No, we're looking at here, right. So these Saturn Jupiter conjunctions, Diana, she died in 1997, but it was all preparation for that conjunction in Taurus. And then for COVID, it was in Capricorn. And basically, it is the power of these earth goddesses coming back, but they want to keep them in They don't want the real sun and the moon closing. They want the Mercury to join with the sun in the Virgo energy, and they want Venus and Mercury coming together in Virgo, and they want in Cancer Mercury to merge with the moon with Gemini. So these children, this this Hitler Youth, this a brave new world, just all the same sex and energy, breaking the beautiful male and female, is what's coming up. So triple goddesses ritual happening currently as Hayden died, as Venus entered Virgo, mutable Earth Maiden. So for this, for this partial lunar eclipse, we no longer have the triple goddesses in the sky, but for Hayden Panettiere, okay, well, she's born with a but. Let me go to the 20th of August. 20th of August, right. So the 20th of August, and for the 16th of August, we have the grand trine. So that was that first quarter moon that we've just had, opposite Uranus. So that is the true, new tropics. And so we have the fixed cross. We've got this big cross bang in the middle. Can you see? We've got St. George's cross right in the middle. And we have the triple goddesses. Uranus in Taurus, Venus in Virgo, and Pluto in Capricorn. And the moon that's today. The moon is coming up to Pluto right now. So this comes out, 3 icons. So, they bring out these things because they know there's a triple goddess going on in the sky. So she will now be the old hag, the mother, and the young girl. 36 is the 360 wheel, and 369, the line broke, the moon key got choked. 363636 is 180, which is the cycle of the north-south node. 18 is R, Romulus and Remus. Romulus and Remus is just that half cycle, it's the opposition, it's half of the 360 wheel. And 18 comes down to 9, and 9 is the moon card. It's also Sagittarius, 9th house. So Saturn takes over from Jupiter, 1961, ended Saturn Jupiter conjunctions in fire, and before that water. Jupiter's reign 500 years ends. Saturn rules Earth, air, next 500 years, as conjunctions now in Earth, 250 years then in air. 1981 great Saturn Jupiter conjunction was in Virgo, 2000 in Taurus, and in 2020 for COVID in Capricorn. Currently there's a grand trine between Earth, TRIP LLL 777 Goddesses, obviously. So what do they actually say here? Fame at a young, okay, princess, right. So everyone got very triggered by that. Everyone's getting really triggered, but 363636, they're telling you that the triple goddesses were in the sky at the time they brought that image out. What is it? They've got so many charts up here. Right, so that was the first quarter moon. The first quarter moon was so important because we've got Mercury, Sun, Mercury and the Sun in between those pillars, and Mercury is the ruler of where Venus is in Virgo and Mars is in Gemini. And now we're coming up to this lunar eclipse, so we're going to get into that. We're going to end with that, but what else do I have to show you? So there's Madonna, Greek Orthodox. They had a whole big photo shoot for her birthday on the day that this girl dies. and they're just showing you this, everything I say, you know, they're bringing in, and there'll be a lot more into it. There'll be a lot more about it. So there is the bee, there is Inanna, there is the cycle of Venus, the whale's tail. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that bee is the brainstem, it is the curvy woman, it's the cat. You know, that's why the cat on a hot tin roof is used. Okay, so these are all the stuff, all the work I've been doing for Patreon. This is a great post. Scotland, the heads, it's 96. So what was going on today? 96, something I was thinking just before I came to you, something was in the news today about 96. The Queen died at 96. She was brought down to London, 69. So light-filled people attract the darkness, so move carefully. These folks come like wolves in the appearances of sheep or even shepherds. They won't always arrive looking like an enemy. Sometimes they come offering love, guidance, protection, or understanding. Darkness recognizes light before light recognizes darkness. That's why discernment matters. Pay attention to what hides beneath the words. Watch the patterns. Watch how your spirit feels in their presence. Not everyone drawn to your light is meant to walk beside you. So these light suckers, this was my home that I left on that last lunar eclipse, 28th of August 2007. I left 24 years of living here, well, that we bought the house, and, you know, 18 years almost of absolutely living there. And there was that double rainbow that came up, and I thought that was interesting. So that was me again going on about the Venus. Yep, Venus in Virgo, 8-year cycle, closing. The last moon stars are being exposed and eradicated. Some of us have lived extreme attempts to extinguish us totally, to suck away our light over these past 8 years. Get ready, this coming first quarter moon in Scorpio, the 20th of August, secrets are exposed. Expect to know some hard truths of uncovering the players' games. They can no longer hide behind those glasses. They live evil, and you will see, no longer able to live off your inner light. The karma is radical and fast. And full moon, partial lunar eclipse in Aquarius, the 20H on the true North Node placement, true Lamb, BP of God, all those dark entities that wanted to destroy your light, break your path, bring chaos, will be shown to you clearly, forced to shrink into their holes. But first, the reckoning, moon in Scorpio. So that was very important. And you see the cake of Madonna is the eye. This is the Popeye, that's the Pope. And the mystic sees, the alchemist transformed, the witness remains, the sovereign stands. Okay, so what else? And then we'll just have another look at this, and I'm going to pull 3 cards for you as well today. So this was Since I've Seen You, just so in your face to get her. Oh Spirit, A.B. Burnham, red air, yellow fire, masculine axis to get her. Orange is the new black, black earth, white water, or 21 feminine axis. So to get her. This just after this, the day after, this girl dies, and she's born on the 21st of August. So August is actually the 8th month. August and 8 in tarot is Mercury. 8th house is the death. So that's why they're killing people in August. It's the life-death portal. It's the 8th house. AB is dressed as Tintin cartoon, black, white, feminine next to red, yellow. They do tell you all news is alchemy. We're in an alchemic pot to transmute. So I'm telling you, the day before, there's Tintin, black, white, feminine, red, yellow. to get her 2-1, August the 15th. That was a year before, to get her with Alison Breyer. That's Ab. That's your, this guy, Andy Burnham, AB. It's the top of the 5-pointed star. It's Venus. They want you to stay in the 4 elements and not to find the 5th element. Black, white, yellow, reds. And then this girl dies. She's born on the 21st of August. And there is your orange. We've got red, yellow, white, black. They show you the 4 elements. And there is the 21 tarot cards. And this girl was born on the 21st. There is, I keep showing you this film. The moon is turned into strawberry fields forever. So happy fire ritual. Mars. Air, fire, water, earth. So Jupiter, air is ruled by Saturn, Venus, Mercury. Jupiter rules water and fire. Jupiter, Mars, moon and sun. And earth and air is Saturn, Venus, Mercury. Strawberry feels forever. Straw yellow, berry reds. And that's what we've lived with the fires. And we're going through this Vesica Piscis passage, which is right between Pisces and Aquarius, looking for the 5th elements. And this is where we are to come onto the fixed cross, come in that gap between Pisces and Aquarius, between Leo and Virgo. And that's why they kill these girls in Leo. So I just put all those pictures of Lars, and there is the orange. No, there is the orange, polluted masculine. Right. So all that was, but I didn't even know who this girl was. People were sending me, and it took me always takes me a moment to click in. So yeah, I did a lot about Venus in Patreon. I think that's open to the public, and I was talking a lot about a lot about this Jezebel energy, a lot. So that was a big article. I really felt this happening. Venus is the star of ethical values. She is the highest energy of peace and balance, but in the wrong sign, she is Jezebel. She will seduce, manipulate, and consume. Venus is in fall in Virgo, the housemaid. That's why that book came out called The Housemaid. Virgo is a mere girl. She is not a star as in Aquarius. She is not self-sacrificing as in Pisces, where she is exalted, and she is not concerned with justice as in Libra, Mart, nor with motherhood as in Taurus, where she is in domicile. She changes energy in each sign, but in Virgo the Virgin, she becomes the whore of Babylon. Many of you can recognize the more detrimental energies of this evening star. Notre Dame fell to crash the Virgin Mary, graced the beach to rise Venus, now in Virgo, as the gas, the bitch. The rural, hard-working, dutiful energy of Venus in Virgo has been transmuted by the likes of Madonna into the material girl. She is now an urban girl. She wants to turn her fruitful energy into personal gain. She is being used to push the New Age manifestation BS. She's concerned only with long painted nails that have become her trademark. She is a man-eater, and she will crush any female that is still connected to original source truth. She does not know that pure intentions are of a higher frequency than bending the spoon. In the story of Adam and Eve, atom, the central torso, apple, 5-pointed star of Venus pivot, declines the serpent of wisdom and chooses the girl, not the fallen eagle Scorpio. Libra the snake and Scorpio Lilith the eagle fell as the sun fell in Libra under the horizon. So Adam disregarded truth, Scorpio the eagle, and was seduced by Eve the virgin whore. We should now rise again as an eagle, but most people have integrated the pushy survival instincts of Florence Nightingale, the nurse that pushes chemical substances onto this realm. When Scorpio becomes the eagle egg of Inanna again, we transmute disease without man-made substances. The order of creation is revived. So I go on, and you can read that article. And then I did this whole thing about Venus as the eastern star, Jezebel rises. And yeah, I've really got into that whole thing. And then this girl was sacrificed. Whenever I get excited about something, I know that something is happening, as you know. Okie dokie. So let's go back to now. Let's go and have a look. And I'm going to pull a few cards. So let's go see. So for me, this is really the whole point of killing this girl is every time it's so you don't use your lion as the child, the sun card. You lose your essence. You remain in the material energy. 28. So this full moon, so the sturgeon moon is about a fish in a lake, and it's also the blood moon. It's going to be red. The moon is turned masculine into reds, and Venus is going to be bang on blue star Spika, and that is the whole point. That is Tessa d'Urberville. She eats the strawberry. This is your amygdala, and Venus is going to go back exactly to where she is for this eclipse. She will go bang back there on 11/11 Armistice Day. Oh my God. So on Armistice, she will go back 11/11 portal to exactly where she is right now. You can't make that up. 4, 6, 7, 28. So she is, yeah, she's exactly, and the Sun and Mercury completely conjunct. So Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, can soak up the Sun. The energy of the Sun. Jupiter is coming onto the claw. Mars is really fully on Sirius now, completely conjunct to Sirius. Uranus, as we know, is there. Saturn and Neptune there. And the moon, the Lamb of God on Fomalhaut, the Popeye. So let's look at that here. 20th of August, Hayden Panettiere, partial lunar eclipse. I've also got Megan up. I've also got Megan here. Meghan Markle. So Meghan Markle, they left England in 2018. We just saw that. So that was the last time. Look, that was in the newspapers today. They're always bringing up the Bayeux Tapestry, the bloody Middle Ages, the truth of the Middle Ages, the Black Prince. It's what we're coming back to. So Meghan Markle was held on Saturday the 19th of May at St. George's. So the wedding was in 2018. Okay. Wedding, and now they're coming back at this Venus cycle. So Meghan Markle she's born with Mercury and Leo exactly where they are for and she's born, look, with her ascendant right between Cancer and Leo. She is born with South Node in Aquarius and North Node in Leo, the whore of Babylon. That is basically the most important thing for us to see right now, is that. And Harry, I can't stand watching how people openly bully, how they're openly making, bringing out the beast energy in people. Who's this? Harry. This is what I want. Date of birth, time. Who's this? Meghan. Prince Harry. Okay. So Harry, this is the sidereal chart. He's born on the 15th of September 1984. So you see, he's born with Mercury in Leo. That was not right with Meghan. She's not a Leo, she's a Cancer. So mainstream, yeah, that's Meghan Markle. She's got Sun and Mercury in Cancer and North Node in Cancer. But interesting, we saw it on tropical, and she's got Venus in Leo. But again, it's all about the solar lunar pillars and the Whore of Babylon. She's got Saturn Jupiter. She is born for the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, 1981. She's born in the year of the wedding of Princess Diana. Okay, so 20th of August, partial lunar eclipse, full SturgeOn Moon. So I had the last lunar eclipse out, and now everything has gone to Hayden. Okay, so let's see the last lunar eclipse, 2007. Lunar eclipse 2007, go. So for that lunar eclipse, North Node was in Aquarius, we had Uranus in Aquarius, and we had Saturn in Leo. So that last was really bringing, that's Black Prince stuff. Prince Charles has got Saturn in Leo. I always say Saturn in Leo is the Black Prince. Jupiter was then in Scorpio, now Jupiter's in Cancer. But look, Jupiter and Mars, Saint Martin de Tours, we had St. George's Cross, and we had Mars and Jupiter right on the new female axis. But look at that fixed cross. All the planets were on the fixed cross for the last, for that day that I arrived in Paris. Wow. And today, for this eclipse coming up, so the big thing is always Uranus is working with the South Node and the North Node, and Uranus is on the bullseye in Appy, the bull god, the beehive. So we've got Appy, the bull god, we've got Merlin, we've got the finger of God pointing to Merlin. We've got Chiron retrograde, bringing up Cetus, the whale. Pluto making this top of the tree of life between Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune. So, but the big thing is really Uranus making a square to South Node and to North Node. That is you able to. And it's making the 90-degree angle. You know, this is Gaza Giza, I always say. Taurus, so between the throat, this is your ability. Taurus, from the throat to the lion lies down with the lamb, and you've got that electric shock, T-square, to Popeye. So, you know, people who haven't Popeyed yet, and that was the whole point of killing this girl, is so you don't find enough love, Sun, Leo, to have the faith to lie down with the lamb. And that was what my whole journey was about. Going to Paris was to live out that celebrity, and that's what people should be doing. You know, I didn't do it when I was younger, so normally people should be becoming a mother at around that age. It's the best time to be a mother. And I was doing my teenage years at that time. Okay, so let's pull a card. Let's do this, and then it's 9:30. I can have some dinner and get ready and be up early for work tomorrow. So don't forget, I put out a post today and it's about my work. So look, this is a great post. This is Giza. It's the King's Chamber. This is it. This is the whole, this post is basically the King's Chamber is what's going on. We've got Mars on Sirius and the North Polaris, the Emperor and the Empress, Cassiopeia and Cepheus, the top of the North Polaris. And this is literally what's going on in the sky. We've got everything lined up. We've got Mars right on Sirius, bang on Sirius. And we've got the whale's tail, and we've got Uranus on Alderbaren working with Regulus and Fomalhaut. And it's just Antares. That's why that first quarter moon in Scorpio was so important. So yeah, back to my work. So natal readings, yep. So until the end, I will launch something new again for September. But if you want to make the most of my natal and newcomers natal discount, it ends on the 31st. So and 12% off all other services also closes end of August. That means you also get 12% off all my webinars, my teaching. So just look at all my services. A natal chart reading with me is normally €320. We spend 3 hours with 2 short breaks. I then spend 2 hours the next day on your written feedback and chakra system drawing, so 5 hours in all. You get an introduction to my work, astrology according to your level, so I can spend anything from 20 to 40 minutes just giving you an introduction. That's why natal readings are long, they're big things. If you already know a lot, I don't have to do such a big one. Then we spend 1 hour on Stellarium, where I decode your chakra system and see your whole story according to where the planets and luminaries are. Then we have a 10-minute break and we get into your wheel, the chart, where I see everything and cover the main transitions going on and look at all the aspects you carry. Then I do 3-card tarot to cover the essence of you according to your wheel. And then your video is uploaded, and then the next day I write a 3-6-page written feedback, hand draw your chakra system. So that is a natal chart reading. The discount code is 50%, and if you don't want the written feedback and the picture drawn, you want the newcomer's natal discount, and that's 50% off is the code. And the code for 12% off all other services is Summer Loving 26. So it's all fully booked at the moment, August, first week of September. But make the most and get Christmas presents and make the most of this 50% off, because, you know, I give 6 hours of my time, and that's why they are more expensive than the other readings. I can't give out that much energy. I'm 60 years old now. I just can't, and when you chat to me a lot as well, I can do it without you or with you. And I love chatting with you, but it takes me a day to recover after a natal reading. That's how much energy I put into them. Okay, so let's get the chart up and let's pull a cards. So cards give us the basic energy I would like 3 cards, but oops, you can give me more. I have 1 card. Okay, another card. Oh, and another card. Right. So we've got 3 cards. Wowee. We have got, my God, we've got the Emperor himself. So my goodness, we've got the Emperor. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. My God, is that powerful 3 cards. Wowee. Well. I mean, so look at those 3 cards, and that's exactly why it was so important that I just quickly showed you that post of Stephen. And I was saying to you, that is the top of the sky. That's the Emperor and the Empress, the North Polaris. This is what the Pope is trying to embody. So Cepheus at the top of the sky, that is the Emperor. This is, so the Hierophant, Taurus, that is in the middle. So we've got, we've got Uranus in the Hierophant. We've got the, in Aries, we've got the key retrograding between Pisces. We've got all this fire energy of the sun. The sun is exalted in Aries next to Mercury. So, I mean, this is it. You can become your emperor. You can find your self-esteem. This girl who died, she will have been born. Where was her Chiron? 20th of August. That's partial lunar eclipse. There she is. So yeah, she is, okay, she's born with her key on Sirius. Okay, interesting. But all the generation of people now born in 77, so all you guys should be getting, and then we'll have the Saturn and Aries generation coming in. This is where you become the Pope. You rise up, and then this is his post. Let's just read a bit. The house of Kephu, Sirius, Cassiopeia, the North Celestial Pole, the biblical Adam and Eve, as also identified in the heavens by many others, including Marty and Gnostic Academy. These are also marked on the landmass. Those, I added those videos of Gnostic Academy, the very one he's talking about here. So the head is in Aberdeen, Aberdeenshire. It's Alpha Omega, Andy Burnham. The Abbey is the B, the Abbey that I left my home, which was the Abbey. I lived in an abbey. This is the book of my village is called the Abbey Pierre. This is AB, the 5th element. The entire biblical narratives are written over the entire British Isles. So there we have the Emperor, and we have the 10 of Swords. So that's Saturn energy, Saturn, the Twin Peaks. We've got air and earth, Aquarius, Capricorn. That is absolutely incredible. And the Emperor in the middle. So this is your rising. There is nothing more powerful than those 3 cards that fell out for this lunar eclipse. 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, Saturn, air and earth, and the Emperor himself. Wow, that is your Popeye. He's got the key, he's got the swords. You know, that is, and people who can't rise up to those energies, they're not going to, you know, they won't survive those energies. They will not survive. So darlings, you know, you can go more into that yourself, the Emperor, this is Mars, this is Cardinal Fire, this is all the fire signs, and then Earth and Air. So my darlings, come and join us on Patreon, come and see me for a reading, and I love you very, very much. And really, all those of us who, you know, we have lived a very difficult last 18 years, and if you've made it into the next chapter, you will be called to a whole new level. And yeah, basically, this lunar eclipse is the lion lies down with the lamb, and you will become this emperor. Okay, bye for now, darlings.